Another day, another game that has me absolutely foaming at the mouth. Welcome to Undertale. Oh my god, this game is. I just came a little bit. A game that's been critically acclaimed, called the best indie game of 2015. But before I honestly go ahead and go into detail about why it's the best indie game of 2015, first I have to discuss that a lot of people say that this game is better. Well, not as good as Rocket League in terms of being the best indie game of the year. What do I say to that? Rocket League can go die in a fire because Undertale burns it in every single category. Now, I know the games aren't necessarily compatible, but as indie games, I guess I can just overall score them on terms of, quality. I mean, I've never played Rocket League, but overall, the game just never really interested me that much. However, the first time I saw Undertale, I thought it was an interesting little concept, one that wasn't really executed right, but one day I just kind of had the urge to just kind of buy it. So I did this week, and, I'm sorry if you're particularly a fan of Rocket League, I just don't see it as good as, this. So I've told tons of people to play this game, but at the same time, they were constantly asking me, well, what's it about? What is it? How does it play? And I've honestly just absolutely refused to tell them anything regarding the story, and barely anything regarding the gameplay either. I mean, just look at the Steam reviews. The simple fact that this game is officially the highest rated PC game of all time kind of tells you something. It tells you to buy the game. Those reviews and my review should fill you with determination. You'll only get that if you actually play the game. So, what is Undertale? Well, Undertale is a bullet hell turn based RPG, random encounter with random. Basically, the gameplay in a nutshell is just kind of a turn based RPG, what you would expect out of it with random encounters and all that stuff. But this is a game where you don't have to kill anyone. Your four little options will pop up, which could be fight, act, use an item, or mercy. Fight is pretty self explanatory, using an item is also self explanatory. But when it comes down to act and mercy, that's where the game gets a little, detailed. Ultimately, you're given a choice, your own kind of mental choice whenever you begin the game and how it presents itself. Should you be a pacifist or should you just go genocide mode on everything? And not only the reviews and the description of the game kind of give the concept, you pretty much get that concept fed to you by the beginning of the game. After what I consider to basically be the prologue of the whole epic adventure that is to follow. Also, I think that the gameplay is pretty innovative because, well, once it's their turn, the enemy's turn, you basically go into a bullet hell shooter mode, which was pretty interesting. It's a bullet hell shooter, but you don't really shoot anything. This is basically just a way of having a turn based RPG that actually requires skill. You don't just take hits and then return hits over and over, so the statistical never really wins. It's completely up to your skill and how you can figure out to combine your acts of talking to this creature and then sparing it, or just killing it. Yeah. That's basically how you fight if you're going the pacifist run, is by just kind of surviving and talking to them until you kind of get down to their feelings to the point to where you can spare them. Basically ending the fight being the same as killing them without making you an awful person. Of course, you could go a neutral route on this, but it just doesn't seem as fun to go on the fence in this one. Ultimately, I recommend that you make a choice before you honestly begin the game, and not just, be a fence sitter. Also, let me mention the simple fact that this is the best soundtrack that I've ever heard in a game of all time. I mean, the overall soundtrack in general isn't really anything special. Like, it's good, but it's not really anything that memorable. But the boss themes, oh my god. Oh, I don't even want you to look them up. Just play the game. Honestly, I shouldn't even spoil the music for you. I shouldn't spoil graphics for you. Now, when it comes down to graphics, honestly, this game is just kind of 8-bit. I mean, honestly, nothing particularly looks good. In fact, sometimes this game looks straight up ugly, but you know what? It's basically a game that you could find on the NES. And the thing is, this game could work on the NES. That's basically the simplicity of the game. If you're worried about having a garbage computer, well, you shouldn't really be worried if you're playing an indie game at all, if you have a garbage computer, because, well, this game will run fine. This game would run fine if it was a Flash game. It would run the exact same way, and, well, it's just not a hard game to run. It's easy. My computer's a toaster and it ran fine, don't worry. Also, let me express the fact that it is a PC exclusive currently, so yeah, keep that in mind if you're a console peasant. I'm a half-blood console peasant PC master race. Bleh. And now let's talk about the story. Okay, let me try to condense this and make this non-spoilery as possible. There were two races, the humans and the monsters. One day, for no apparently explained reason, war broke out between the two races. Eventually, the humans won and sealed pretty much every monster underground to eternal damnation. And you, a human boy, basically went to climb up this mountain like an idiot, and eventually you fell underground into the realm of the monsters. So ultimately, the goal in this entire goofy adventure is basically to just make your way home and stuff. Also, this game has the most unique set of characters I'll probably ever see in a video game, so that's definitely worth a note or two. While this game doesn't have voice acting, I feel like if it did, it would be absolutely spot on because, well, little sounds that characters make while text is showing up on their little text bubbles basically represents what the character would sound like. You got this chubby skeleton dude named Sans, and he has this really goofy kind of redneck, almost sounding noise going on. You got this goofy doctor named Alphys, and she just kind of sounds like this. And it's pretty good. Then you got Flowey the Flower, which I'm displaying right now, and yeah, I'm, I'm not gonna say anything. The game breaks the fourth wall a lot. In fact, sometimes it's kind of weird to consider this game as a full-on story because the game almost kind of connects to real life in a strange sense. When you play the game, you get near the end, it kind of makes more sense, but ultimately, yes, I could consider this story something that could be made into a movie. I'm not saying that it should be made into a movie because honestly, a movie on this game would be absolutely horrid and probably make me despise this game. I really don't want to say anything about the story. When it boils down to it, the concept kind of goes that, well, the big king of all the monsters and stuff basically has 6 human souls, but he needs 7 to get back on the surface and, retake it from all the humans. So, therefore, he's sending a bunch of people after you to just kind of kill you and take your soul so that way he may cross the barrier. And the story just gets better and better from there on. Overall, I just kind of wanted to make this review a little bit short because, well, I didn't really want to spoil anything about the game, and honestly, I just want to wrap this up right now. Undertale is officially my favorite game ever made. The choices you make can even carry into your second playthrough, which is honestly pretty damn cool. Yes, I like this game more than any other game on the planet currently. It's, at this moment, just simply that good. And that good to where I don't even want a sequel just out of the fear that it may be bad. Yes, I like this more than any Halo game, any Elder Scrolls game, any Far Cry game, and just any game that will ever come out. Probably isn't going to be more beloved to me than this. And honestly, as soon as this game came out, it probably did that to a lot of other people. Take a look at Cyborg Gaming. His 2 favorite games ever were Shadow of the Colossus and Portal 2, and now Undertale is his favorite game. He's already made 2 videos on it on a guy that usually uploads on an every other weekly basis. And there's still so much that I have yet to see. Still working on getting that better index. I've only got a neutral one so far. But yeah, overall, I think I could rate this game a pretty solid. Well, solid is definitely an understatement. Oh. It's an easy 10 out of 10. In fact, I'm gonna literally say that this game is an 11 out of 10. Not even joking, this game is literally an 11 out of 10 because not only is it perfect, it goes beyond that boundary. It makes me no longer hate Call of Duty players for not caring about a video game story. It makes me genuinely pity them that they'll never experience something this excellent. And I could probably recommend this game to anyone. Like, literally anyone. Even those COD players that say the graphics are the only thing that makes a video game good. Overall, an excellent game, the best game I've ever played, my favorite game of all time officially, and yeah, this game is an absolute beauty and something that you have to experience if you plan on even considering yourself a gamer. Just get on your dinky little laptop, get a Steam, just drop the $10 on this game, because that is literally how much it costs. $10, just buy the game, love it, and then shut your mouth. I love you. Stay wet.